OpenAI's hardware secret is finally out, and it is nothing like 2 years of leaks predicted. Here's exactly what this video covers. What the device actually is, why Apple just escalated its lawsuit against OpenAI twice in a single week because of it, and why something that sounds like just a smart speaker might be OpenAI's real plan to kill your phone. No storytelling, no filler, just what's confirmed right now. For 2 years, the rumors kept shifting. A ring, a pendant, smart glasses, a pin clipped to your shirt. None of it held up because none of it was ever verified. That changed this week when Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, whose Apple leaks are rarely wrong, reported that OpenAI's first device is a battery-powered speaker shaped like a donut, roughly the size of a hockey puck, small enough to carry around in one hand. There is no screen anywhere on it, just a metal ring body, a separate charging base, speaker grills, microphones, status lights, and the detail that actually matters here, a wide-angle camera plus a set of environmental sensors. Price is expected between $300 and $400, with a launch window sometime in 2027, though some reports suggest it could land sooner. But the shape is honestly the least interesting part of this leak. Inside that ring, there is reportedly a small mechanical structure that physically shifts while the AI listens, thinks, or answers you, with lights that move along with it. Every smart speaker you own goes completely dead the second it stops talking. This one is built to feel present in the room the whole time. Add the camera and sensors, and it does not just hear what you say. It can see where you are. Point it at a pill bottle and ask when your next dose is due. Point it at the stove and ask if dinner's ready. The actual pitch here is full ChatGPT, not Siri, not Gemini, running through hardware that knows what's physically around it. Now here's where this turns into a legal mess fast. While this leak was spreading, Apple was already sitting in federal court accusing OpenAI of stealing the exact manufacturing knowledge behind a device like this. The lawsuit, filed in July, names 2 former Apple employees now working at OpenAI, one of them OpenAI's own chief hardware officer, and claims the company ran a scheme to pull confidential hardware information out of them through recruiting interviews. The sharpest allegation in the filing centers on a specific metal surface. Finishing technique, the kind of process behind that expensive, seamless look, which Apple says OpenAI pushed its own suppliers to copy. Apple asked the judge for a preliminary injunction to block OpenAI from using the disputed information while the case moves forward, along with fast-tracked depositions. 1 day later, OpenAI hit back with a 31-page motion asking the judge to throw the entire case out, arguing Apple never clearly proved what these so-called trade secrets even are, and pointing out that Apple let its own employees mix work and personal data on their devices for years, which undercuts the claim that any of it was properly protected. OpenAI's position: it has no need for anything Apple owns, because this device looks nothing like anything Apple makes. Both sides are due in court on October 1st. Now here's a detail almost every other channel covering this story is getting wrong. Back in March, a photo went viral of Joe Gebbia, the Airbnb co-founder, who's now the White House's chief design officer, sitting in a San Francisco coffee shop wearing a strange metallic gadget. A lot of coverage on this exact story is treating that photo as confirmed proof of the donut speaker. It is not. Look closely, and what Gebbia was actually wearing was a pair of open earbuds with a matching clamshell case. Not a handheld donut at all. Nobody, including OpenAI, has ever confirmed what that device actually was. It might still connect to OpenAI's hardware push somehow, but calling it a confirmed sighting is just wrong. And I wanted you to know that instead of getting fed the same mixed-up claim everyone else keeps repeating. So why does any of this matter beyond one strange gadget? Because of who's building it. The design partner is Love from the studio run by Jony Ive, the man who led design on the iPhone, the iPod, the iPad, and the Apple Watch. OpenAI didn't just hire his studio. Last year, they bought his hardware company outright, which is what turned a design partnership into something far more permanent. Internally, OpenAI has reportedly described this device as a third essential piece of hardware, one that sits next to your laptop and your phone, not replacing them overnight, but slowly pulling your attention off screens completely. And this next part matters more than the donut shape itself. Almost every app on your phone only exists because you have to tap a screen to open it. Search bars, icons, notifications, that entire system assumes you are the one doing the navigating. A device built around voice, vision, and memory breaks that completely. Because instead of opening an app yourself, you just say what you want, and the AI decides which service to use and which steps to take. Every major computing shift has moved that entry point somewhere new, from the desktop and the mouse to the touch screen and the app grid. OpenAI is betting the next one is not a screen at all. It is just you talking out loud. None of this works though, if the AI behind it is not good enough. And we have already watched almost this exact idea fail once. Humane's AI pin promised nearly the same thing, and it collapsed because the model behind it was too slow and unreliable without a screen to fall back on. OpenAI's bet is that it will not repeat that mistake, because unlike Humane, it already owns the model hundreds of millions of people use every single day. And a speaker sitting on your counter is a far easier sell than a camera strapped to your face. Which is probably exactly why OpenAI picked this shape over smart glasses. So here's where this actually leaves us. A donut-shaped speaker with no screen, a $300 to $400 price tag, a 2027 launch window that could move earlier, an Apple lawsuit about to get its day in court, and a legendary designer betting his second act on removing the very screen he spent 20 years perfecting. Whether this becomes the device that finally moves us past the smartphone era, or just another expensive gadget gathering dust in a drawer, comes down to one thing: whether the AI inside it is actually as good as OpenAI is promising. Would you put one of these on your kitchen counter? Tell me in the comments, and subscribe if you want every AI hardware leak explained before it goes mainstream everywhere else, because this story is far from finished.